Now, by God's grace, our topic for today is derived unit and dimension. Now, don't forget in our previous video we did derived quantity and fundamental quantity. Now, let's flash back to the definition of derived quantity as quantity that are formed from combination of two or more fundamental quantities. Likewise, derived units are units that are formed from combinations of two or more fundamental units. Now let's quickly go through the fundamental quantity and their unit. So length is mentioned in meter and we are created with what? M. Then mass is mentioned in kilogram, which is what? Kg. We have time in seconds, in S. Then electric current is mentioned in ampere and is abbreviated with what? Ampere. A. Temperature in Kelvin, which is K. The amount of substance in mole, which is what? MOL. We have luminous intensity in the candela, which is CD. Now, let's go on. So we are going to be combining this one together according to the formula. Therefore, if you understand the formula, you will get the unit. If you know the unit, you get the formula. If you know, there's another one, dimension as well. If you know the dimension, you know the unit. If you know the unit, you can get what? Your dimension. Now, let's start from area. So area is equal to length times breadth. Therefore, since unit of length is m multiplied by unit of breadth, which is also what? Family of length is also m. Therefore, unit of area is meter square. So let's move on. We have volume. Volume is mentioned in length times breadth times height. So length in m, breadth also m, and height is also family of length, which is m. So in that case, we are going to have meter k. So let's go on. We have acceleration. So acceleration, the formula for acceleration is what? Change in velocity over time. Then change in velocity is same thing as what? Velocity. We have velocity over time. Then don't forget our velocity is displacement, and displacement is also family of what? Length. We are going to have meter over time, and that is velocity. Then divide by another time, that is time again. And don't forget, the unit of time is seconds, so you can replace this one with x, then you replace this one also with x. So we are going to have meter over x multiplied by 1 over x. So which will give us meter over x squared. So then this one we write it like this in formula and physics, meter per second squared. Or you can still write it like this, meter seconds raised to the minus 2. Still the same thing. Then the same thing applicable to force. So that's another one. Force, from the formula, force is equal to mass times acceleration. Then what is unit of mass from here is kg multiplied by unit of acceleration. Don't need to derive it again. You carry this one, that is meter per second squared. So everything will give you kilogram meter per second squared, and so on and so on. You can even try energy. So energy is equal to force times distance. And don't forget, this is our force already, then multiply by distance. So it will give us kilogram meter per second squared multiplied by distance unit, which is meter. So everything will now give you kilogram meter square per second square. So that is that for unit of derived quantity. So inshallah, we still continue to dimension. How we say dimension? We mean the unit of which a quantity is mentioned. So in terms of unit, you always deal with only these three of them. So the unit, in terms of dimension, the dimension we normally base on the dimension of length, because length is mentioned in what? That is L. But for the mass is M. Then for time is T from their first letter. So which means if I want to study the dimension, what you just need is these three letters and what they are standing for. L for length, breadth, all those five. Then mass for M, then T for time. For instance, if I want to know what would be the dimension of area, I will just say area from the formula. What does this? Length times breadth. Then what is dimension of length? Length is this, which is L. Then dimension of what? Breadth. It's also the same thing. Like I said in our first video, we have L. Therefore, dimension of area is what? L squared. Then what is dimension of volume? The volume is length times breadth times what? Height. Then dimension of length is L. Dimension of breadth is also L. Dimension of height is what? Height is L as well. So it will give you L raised to 3 or L cube. So which means, that's why I said if you know unit, you can easily get dimension. Once I know that L is standing for length and the unit is L, I will just change it to give me M squared. The same thing applicable to this. Let's go to another formula. Let's use force. Since force is equal to mass times acceleration, then what is dimension of mass is M. What is dimension of acceleration? Dimension of acceleration is L x LT raised to power minus 2. Just multiply the 3 together, so it will give you MLT raised to power minus 2. So if you understand the unit very well, you can easily get dimension. If you understand dimension, you can easily get unit, and you can use your formula. Everything starts from formula. I know the formula, that formula of force is mass times acceleration. So I can easily get the unit, and from unit I can easily get dimension. So the next topic will be measurement.